I really need to map that to a different button, the character switching. And also, there goes that again. Alright, let me in, pal. You again? We already told you, Walt's never gonna talk to a bunch of dogs like you. Get the hell out of here. This might end up being a bit of a problem. Gotta admit, for a delinquent, he's a cute, bright-eyed kid. Hello, may I have your name, please? Me? I'm Dino. Dino, is it? Is Dino or Dino? I want to go with Dino. You're tasked with keeping watch in case any suspicious individuals try to enter, right, Dino? That's right. Walt personally assigned me to this job to me. I can't have any of those Testaments jerks breaking in here. I definitely wasn't forced into this post by the other members. Of course not. It's a very important job. But we aren't members of the Testaments. There shouldn't be any problem for you to let us in, correct? But I saw you messing with the rest of our guys earlier. If I let you in... Yes, we may have engaged in combat with them, but a spar that small is basically a greeting to your men, right? Besides, your boss has already long moved on from that issue. But... if you still aren't willing to trust us, then... What? Wait. Ellie? Here, take it. You can hold on to my pistol while we go inside. This is incredibly precious to me. I hope you'll take good care of it until I return. Fine. You can stop already. You don't have to take it this far. I'll go and ask Walt if you can enter. You better not sneak in while I'm gone. Damn, that was a ballsy move. I was utterly frightened for a moment. That was impressive, Ellie. I don't think I'd be able to pull off a negotiation like that. I'm quite familiar with these situations, so feel free to rely on me. I don't think that approach would work on someone like Walt, though. You'd be better off speaking in a similar manner you did with Wazy. Yeah, I know. Thanks. Walt gave the okay for you to enter. I'll let you in, but if I catch you trying to pull any funny business, you're finished. Thank you. If you'll excuse us then. Surprise, surprise. This place is far too noisy. You were right, they turned it into a music venue. Damn, they actually transformed this dusty old building into a hangout spot? I'm impressed. It's about damn time. You've got some stones showing your faces here. Can't believe you guys actually showed up. You got a death wish or something? Looks like those blue bastards told you most of the details already. What are you here for then? Gonna arrest us? Not at all. We were hoping to ask for your cooperation in our investigation. If you don't mind, why exactly do you want to destroy the Testaments? We've heard their side of the stories, so we'd like to hear yours now. Huh? Why? Is the Testament statement not sufficient enough to explain their feud? No, it's not. The truth can easily change depending on who you talk to and what they claim they saw. The actual truth can only be brought to light once everyone's account has been thoroughly cross-examined and scrutinized. Doing so is one of my duties as a detective. Now I gotcha. So essentially, we need to analyze the case from various angles, correct? You're a weirdo, that's for sure. Wouldn't it make things a hell of a lot easier to just assume we're the baddies? Wald! Listen up, you punk-ass detectives. Even if I did have the info you're looking for and was willing to give it up, what's in it for me? Well, I'm guessing you won't be satisfied with just learning the truth. Hell no I won't. See, I'm the kind of guy who lives off kicking asses and taking names. And are you all out of names? How about this? You can cool down my bloodlust right here, right now. I'll spill the beans. Let's have ourselves a little brawl. My gang versus yours. Kick our asses, and you'll get all the info you need. Not a bad deal, right? Absolutely not. Self-defense is a different story, but willingly participating in meaningless fights is out of the question. No need to be such a killjoy, kid. If you're that afraid of getting pummeled, how about you just leave the two ladies here instead? You're pushing your luck. For real, boss? I don't know, isn't that kind of scummy? Shut up, you morons. What's the big deal? Just leave them with us for the next 2 hours while you two go off on a little walk. Do it and I'll tell you everything. Sound good? Actually, I have a better idea. Me and you, one-on-one. There shouldn't be anything wrong with a friendly scrimmage. If I win, you'll tell me everything you know about the case. Is that good enough for you? Wait! Damn, dude. A reckless idea, I must say. Are you out of your damn mind? Red over there looks like he'd stand a chance, but you look like a twig compared to him. As I said, I'm a detective. I've been through some pretty intense training. I doubt I'll lose to some two-bit street delinquent like you. Didn't think there'd be any guys stupid enough to challenge me to a fight. Sure, kid, I'll accept your fight. I'm Wild Wales, the Demon Smasher, and leader of the Saber Vipers. If you think you can take me down, then show me what you got. Alright, round 2 against Hazy. Or not Hazy. Bleh. That's Wazy. It's Wald. So I've changed up my tactic. I put Lloyd as far back as I can. I've gotten him some better defensive equipment. I grinded his CP to 200. I also gave him an attack one and an HP one. That way I can cast off like Forte and whatnot. Alright, but first things first. Battle Scope. Alright, so these are all the things that, this is their boss. Leader of the Saber Vipers. Superhuman strength shows in his great physique. He's got 1,000 HP. He's double mine. I'm going to try... Yeah, I'll try. Miss. Ow. Alright, let's give him a Tiger Charge. 200 CP, Tiger Charge. 300 damage. Oh, he's mad. I'm gonna keep trying with the magic, see if that helps a little. Counter! Alright, another stone spike, please. Neck hang. Oh god. Okay, good, I can heal. Please do some good healing. 383, good. Oh, you know what? Probably should be holding off on that. Now that I think about it. Oops. Back off. He's just psyching himself up. Alright. Got an S break. Let's use it. I did it. Take that, Wald. And now everyone was linked up in experience. Now it's all ruined. He won. Way to go. How about that? Looks like you ain't all talk after all. I wasn't expecting you to be able to keep me busy like that. Wald. Damn you, you'll pay for that. Shut up, you dumbasses. This guy's a real monster. Either way, not bad for a warm-up round. For a second there, I considered going all out, but my showdown with that pretty boy is almost here, so I'll let you off the hook this time. How thoughtful of you. So, mind filling us in on the details of the incident now? Sure, whatever. It all happened 5 nights ago, when my boys was ambushed by one of those blue bastards. Happened not too far away from Ignis, too. Did it? Well, those cowards claimed that one of their own was attacked the same way. Of course, that's just something they pulled out of their asses. Us Saber Vipers like to throw down, but we fight like men. You think we'd bitch out and jump somebody in the dark? What were the extent of your follower's injuries? Beaten till his bones started to fracture. He's in the hospital now. Said it'll be a month or so till he's fully recovered. And unlike the blue bastard, he didn't pass out right after the pummeling started. He took a hell of a worse beating than him. That's for sure. I see. You guys definitely sure the testaments are the perps? You said he didn't pass out immediately, right? Can he give us a statement? Did he even see the attackers at all? Guess not. But it was definitely those blue bastards. I bet my life on it. After all, he was sniped by one of their rocks. A rock? Are you referring to the stones they launched with their slingshots? Damn right I am. The shot knocked the wind out of him, so the cowards took the chance to rush in and kick his ass. He hung on for a bit, but not for long. Isn't it obvious who's the culprit now? That's all I gotta tell you. I said it before and I'll say it again. I couldn't care less about the little details. I'm gonna put an end to him and his blue bastards. Nothing else matters at this point. Want to interfere? Be my guest. In the end, I'm gonna crush everyone who gets in my way. You made your point. Anyway, thank you for your cooperation. I'm sure your statement will be key in solving this case. We'll contact you if we discover any new leads. Knock yourself out, kid. So now is it a back and forth between the two? I'm confused about something. Members of both groups were assaulted. Is it possible they were being untruthful? I did not suspect they were lying, though. Is something the matter? Feeling the effects of the fight or something? Oh no, that's not it. I'm fine. He was going easy on me. I was just thinking that something doesn't add up. How so? Well, 5 nights ago, members from both groups were assaulted at the same time, but in different locations. Even if they had coincidentally attacked each other simultaneously. With this many people involved, how likely would it be for them to be oblivious of each other's movements? Oh, No kidding. Neither of them are pros at covert operations, so chances of that are slim as hell.
What if one group was ambushed and then retaliated in kind? That wouldn't explain it either. They would have taken precautionary measures to avoid facing retaliation from the enemy. Not to mention, both sides had supposedly been ambushed. Isn't that right, Lloyd?
Yeah, there's definitely something going on behind the scenes. We're still missing the most critical piece of this puzzle.
Looks like you guys could use a hand.
Oh hey, it's the journalist. Aren't you?
From the Crosswell Times? Howdy everyone, we meet again. Cha-ching! Just scored myself a money shot. This is an infringement on our right to privacy. I can't help it. Take pictures for as long as I have, and the camera develops a mind of its own. Who knows, maybe I'll feature you in my next article. You guys should take what you can get.
I don't think it works that way.
We heard you had some choice things to say about us in your article. Do you intend to make a mockery of us again? What can I say? You guys seem to be a hit with the readers. More importantly, I see you managed to drag some juicy information out of those hoodlums. I've been conducting a little investigation of my own, so how about it? Care to share the goods with your friend here? I'll take you out for a nice meal in return, as thanks for all the lovely reference material you've been giving me. My treat.
What makes you think we'd be willing to share classified information with a civilian, let alone a member of the media?
Oh, phooey. Don't sweat the details. And here I was thinking I could treat everyone to some great Eastern cuisine, and offer you the critical piece of the puzzle for dessert.
So that's what you're playing at, trying to reel us in with a good old give and take.
Bingo! I'll be at Longlow Tavern and Inn near the East Street exit. Don't be shy now. I'll head there first and drink all by my lonesome until you arrive. Come to think of it, I haven't introduced myself yet, have I? I'm Grace Lynn, a reporter for the Crosswell Times. Think of me as the older sister you never had.
Grace Lynn, reporter from the Crosswell Times. Her offer sounds shady, but damn, that's one fine carrot dangling from her stick. Might be worth seeing what her deal is. Yeah, I'd like to hear what information she has to offer, but I'm not interested in her bribery attempt. We can't rely on headquarters to assist us, so we should take any help we can for the investigation.
Indeed, I imagine her curiosity as a reporter has led her to research the matter extensively. We'd better be careful not to let any sensitive information slip from our mouths. I agree. She gave off the impression that she was ready to pounce the moment any of us slipped.
Ouch, talk about a harsh assessment. Alright, so now I guess... Oh, alright, sorry about that. Okay, so I guess we got no choice but to talk to the reporter lady. Okay, oof. Pretty roughed up. Did you ever find anything? Nope. Hello.
I knew you'd come crawling. Don't be shy now. Have a seat. I'll treat you all to a nice dinner.
While that's awfully kind of you, we'll have to respectfully decline the dinner. Now, how about we stick to exchanging information?
Boo, you're no fun. Or are you trying to make a statement that you're impervious to bribes, unlike the upper echelons of the CPD?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'll gladly scope out the free meal, ma'am.
I would also accept so long as you are not scheming to make us owe you. It's probably okay. I don't see it in the harm in sharing a casual meal together. Huh. You're the only one worried about some kind of moral conflict. How are you going to become a pro detective if you act like such a prude all the time?
Alright, I get it already. But I'm forbidding you all from drinking. As long as you abide by this one rule, we'll accept your offer. Yeah, to pull up an extra chair.
This is delectable. The chef here is highly skilled. The food is most satisfying.
Though it's kinda hard to savor something this tasty without a good drink. Come on, Lloyd, don't be such a hard ass. One sip ain't gonna kill me, you know. Absolutely not. You know we're still technically on duty, right? We have to keep our wits about us at all times. Yeah, whatever. Our leader's as stubborn as a damn mule.
On the contrary, Randy, are you not the one who is far too nonchalant? I'm going to have to agree with them. Drinking on the job is highly inappropriate. You guys are so much fun. Your personalities are wildly different, yet you fit together perfectly, almost like a jigsaw puzzle. Heck, you're basically a well-oiled machine now.
Flattery will get you nowhere. Back to the topic at hand, we've told you everything we know about the incident that occurred in the downtown district. I seem to recall you mentioning that you had the missing piece of the puzzle earlier. Isn't it about time you filled us in on it?
And what if I told you that I don't wanna?
Good luck ever getting us to trust you again, Grace. Not only that, but it'd be the last time we talk, ever.
Oh, calm down. I was just messing with you. Though, I gotta say, you can be pretty charming when you're serious. It's a nice contrast to your boyish looks. I hate to admit it, but you've caught my attention.
Okay, guys, how about we get back to work?
Yes, that sounds fine by me. I appreciate the meal. Whoa, hold your horses, people. You want your missing piece of the puzzle, right? Where do I begin? Okay, have you guys ever heard of a group named Ravashi? I've heard the name.
Guys, what's with the blank look on your faces?
Ravashi & Co. I believe there's a business in Crossbell registered under that name. That's all they appear to be on the quick surface level examination. The truth of the matter is that they're actually Crossbell's mafia. They've been controlling our dark underworld for a long time. By mafia, do you mean that they are a criminal organization?
Makes sense. I've definitely heard rumors about there being a mafia in Crossbell. I'm guessing you already know a thing or two about that, Lloyd. I do. It's pretty hard to be in the dark about them if you're Crossbellan.
Their organization has a vast network of connections with important people. I've heard that they've got strong ties deep within the government, so the police can't take any actions against them.
Interesting. The underbelly of society is pretty much identical no matter where you go, huh?
So, why the mention of Ravashi? Ravache. Are they involved with the incident? Oh, you betcha. Ravache's members have been engaged in some rather shady business lately. They've been working their behinds off, almost as if they're anxious to complete some kind of plan. So, being the investigative guru I am, I decided to spend some time sinking my teeth into this potential scoop.
What do you mean by the mafia working harder than usual?
This certainly sounds ominous. I have a terrible feeling about this. Is that why you decided to visit the downtown district then?
What?
Bingo, my friend. About 2 weeks ago, one of my sources provided me with some intel on members of the mafia snooping around downtown. They were dressed like civilians, probably to try to conceal their identities. Doesn't that smell awfully fishy to you?
It reeks. Agreed. Something feels out of place. Bella, you okay?
It's unlikely that each gang would simultaneously and independently choose to attack one another. Ravache orchestrating things from the shadows would explain how that happened. I am confused about something, though. For what reason does a criminal organization require delinquent groups to antagonize each other?
Right, that's the million mirror question. It makes sense if they already harbored a grudge against one another.
Uh-huh. As far as I know, they don't have a rocky relationship, and I've never heard of any serious conflicts between them. Quite frankly, all three groups are savages. Those mafia dudes are way more threatening than the others, though. The weird part is, Ravache doesn't have any conflicts of interest with the two other groups. I don't see the need for them to be fighting.
What if one of them formed an alliance with the Mafia to off the rival group once and for all? Going by this assumption, then it's not exactly surprising that the culprits would play the role of the victim.
But do they really need to take it that far?
I didn't get the impression that Wazy and Wald were on bad terms with each other. If anything, I felt like they held each other in high regard.
Hey, that's what I was going to say. From what I've gathered, Wazy and Wald are rivals, but they hold mutual respect for one another. So at first, Wald and the Saber Vipers were the only gang in the downtown district. But then all that changed 2 years ago. Wazy showed up out of nowhere and established the Testaments. And all we know how Wald and we all know how Wald is, so he obviously went to go put Wazy in his place, but
Wazy took him down?
Yuppers, he sure did. Despite his charming looks and small frame, Wazy's a skilled martial artist. I'd heard he managed to take Wald by surprise with his lightning-quick moves and pinned him to the ground. Wow! I was not expecting that.
That cute little dude's freakishly strong colored me surprised. No kidding, but I don't think Wald's a pushover either.
He was a little too careless at one time. They've fought a number of times since, but they're at a stalemate, supposedly. I think that's precisely why they respect each other, though. That makes perfect sense. I see why they consider each other rivals.
Suppose that rules out any likelihood that either of them formed an alliance with the Mafia to crush the other. Agreed. They're both worshipped by their respective gangs, so I doubt their subordinates were acting independently. This can really only mean one thing.
I may have divulged a little more information than I should have.
Huh?
Anyway, I've got other interviews to conduct, so I'm going to take off. Kick some butt with the investigation so I can write me a good story later. Toodles! She sure has an interesting way of handling things. But regardless, we were able to obtain some highly valuable information.
Yeah, knowing that the Mafia is likely involved with this mess is a huge leap forward in our investigation. Now the real question is, why did the Mafia get themselves involved with their affairs? This is going to be a tough one to figure out with the limited evidence we have right now.
The police database does not appear to have any relevant information either. I believe it is locked behind multiple levels of authorization.
So it's classified info, huh?
It makes sense, considering whose pockets the Mafia has their hands in.
Alright, let's head back to the SSS and see what Chief Sergey has to say about everything. As much as I'd love for us to solve the case, the situation is starting to become larger than what we can handle.
You're right.
Yeah, let's head back and see what the old man has to say for himself. Before we do that, though, we're going to make a slight detour back to the downtown district. Let's see. Now that it's come to this, I regret not reading my old man's medical textbooks.
Medical textbooks?
What the? Oh, it's just you guys again. You got a problem with that? Everybody has a secret or two. We dragged Azel back here after he was assaulted to administer some emergency medical care, but he didn't regain consciousness. We ended up calling an ambulance. Had to wait until dawn before we could shuttle him off. I may despise my old man, but I really regret not having him teach me some basic first aid techniques. So that's what happened. You guys must be worried sick. Yeah, strangely enough, the ambulance didn't depart for the hospital immediately after picking up Azel.
What do you mean then?
Apparently, some other person downtown got injured and sent to the hospital. It was some stinking saber viper. One of his comrades told us he got hurt. The ambulance ended up taking both injured victims to the hospital at the same time. So, members from both of your groups were assaulted on the same night. Interesting. Talk about some convenient timing, huh? Convenient? The timing was horrible. Do you think we want to share an ambulance with some viper? Ahem. Lost my cool there for a second. Azel being hospitalized has me worried. My old man works there, so maybe I'll use him as an excuse to go visit Azel tomorrow.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Wonder if they say the same thing. So damn mad. I knew we should have taken him out while we had the chance. Back when we were loading Koki into the ambulance, we ran into a bunch of blue bastards too. They were crying about how one of their guys got knocked out too, so the ambulance took him along with Koki. Oh right, I guess the guy from the Testaments rode in the same ambulance as your friend.
But in that case, wouldn't you have known that the Testaments got hurt too? They even claimed that his wounds were the result of your signature nail bats.
It's pretty obviously one of their dirty tricks. They ain't afraid of getting down and dirty. Those brainiacs are always trying to make us look bad. Son of a bitch. I know we decided to retreat, but we should have totally beat the hell out of them right there. Alright. I think it's time for Hidden Quest. Seriously though, the special support section? Is it actually true your division was created due to some internal drama at the CPD? You've certainly got your sources locked down tight. Well duh, don't go looking down on the power of our connections. We get our hands on all sorts of delicious information from all over the continent. For example, we could investigate the whole lot of fine gentlemen they have in Erebonia, if you catch my drift. I get that they're informed on all that, but was that really the best example to try and flex on us with?
On that note, why the flamboyancy?
Anyway, since I'm sure we'll be bumping into each other plenty in the future, I've got a fun little idea for us. Any interest in taking a small test I put together? A test?
What kind of test, if you don't mind us asking?
Oh, nothing too complicated. I'll pick out 10 questions at random from our test bank we use in the written portion of the Bracer exam. That way, I'll be able to know if you're at least as knowledgeable as a junior Bracer if you manage to get all 10 of them right. However, if you were to fail,
there will be no place for us to operate in Crossbell, where some of the greatest Bracers have gathered. Am I correct?
Man, talk about putting on the pressure. Oh well, that's just dandy, ain't it? You're gonna think we're a bunch of dumbasses if we screw this up. Oh, pshaw, not at all. Not really interested in degrading you. It's not my style. Here's a tip for you. You can study the contents all of the exam over the public library in the administrative district. Simply put, I'm testing to see if you'll actually be worth your salt when it comes to helping out the average cross-bellin. So anyway, you guys up for the challenge? As ready as I'll ever be. Let's go. Sure, we'll give it a shot. Now that's what I'm talking about, baby. Yo, Lloyd, you sure about this? Yeah, I'm not too worried about it, honestly. We had to take a similar exams back at the academy. Besides, it's almost like I'm running away if I back out of it now. It wouldn't feel right. I understand what you mean, and I agree. Likewise. I get where you're coming from. Screw it, let's do this. I like that feisty attitude. By the way, Lloyd, I get the impression that you're the leader of the group in a way. You want to take a crack at answering the questions on behalf of everyone else? Fine. Yeah, fine by me. Ooh, I love that look in your eyes. It's making the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Okay, let's get this party started. Michelle's tests start. Bracer Guild Receptionist Michelle's test Bracer General Education Examination. And now the first question. This one will be a cute freebie to get you warmed up. As we all know, the Orbital Revolution brought forth the technological advancements of orbits to our continent. The question is, how many years ago did it occur? Approximately 10, approximately 30, approximately 50. I'm pretty sure it happened about 50 years ago, right? Bingo, right you are, my friend. Don't let it get to your head though. Remember, it was just a freebie. It's crazy to think about how much orbital technology has advanced in the last few decades. Back when I was a little kid, I would have never imagined riding in something as fancy as an orbital car. It seemed like something straight out of some fairy tale. That's one hurdle down. Anyway, on to the next question. Question numero 2. The driving force behind the orbital revolution was all thanks to one man's prototype Orbit. This one one's another gimme, but who is the creator of said Orbit? Professor A. Russell, Professor C. Epstein, Professor G. Schmidt. It's Epstein. I know this one. It's Professor C. Epstein. Huzzah! You got the right answer. Did you guys know that people were skeptical of his invention at first? They probably thought it was some kind of sorcery at the time. Once people began to realize just how gosh darn convenient they are, they quickly became an integral part of our daily lives. The Epstein Foundation has made great efforts towards the research and adoption of orbital technology. That much is common knowledge. The orbital staff I use for combat also falls under the Foundation's research efforts. Oh yeah, Tio totally mentioned that she's employed by the Epstein Foundation. That was a close call. She probably would have given me an earful if I screwed that one up. Yeah, I'd like to think about that one. Alright, we all know that quartz are the key component to any orbital device, right? And to synthesize quartz, you need sepith. And when I talk about sepith, what specific form of septium am I referring to? Septium crystals, processed septium, septium fragments. I believe they're septium fragments. Oh heck yeah, you got that right, buddy boy. Septium fragments are refined into quartz, which we then use in our orbital devices. Monsters are inherently attracted to septium, so they often end up munching on sepith. Defeating critters is an easy way to obtain sepith, so keep that in your back pocket. So far so good. These questions are all common sense. It's time to prepare for question 4. Our fave pal, the Erebonian Empire, lies to the west. Its important and overwhelming existence can be felt by all of us crossbellins. I imagine you've probably seen their emblem before. Do you recall what the symbol of Erebonia is? The supporting gauntlet, that's the Bracer Guild. The White Falcon, I believe that's liberal. The Golden Stallion. I believe it's the Golden Stallion, right? Nay, is what I'd say if you were wrong, but you're right. It's no secret that the pride of the Erebonian Empire lies in its unmatched military prowess. The Golden Stallion is a symbol of that. There was once an order of knights in the Empire known as the Eisenritter. They were known for employing cavalry, so that may be why the Empire adopted the Golden Stallion as its emblem. Nice. Managed to maneuver my way through that. We're almost halfway there. 6 more questions to go. A nation known as the Calvar Republic sits directly to the east of Crossbell, diametrically opposing the Erebonian Empire. It's no exaggeration to state that Crossbell's entire existence is reliant on the long-term struggle for power between Erebonia and Calvard. With that being said, do you know the name of the primary manufacturer of orbital and heavy weaponry for the Republic? The Vern Company, the Rainford Company, Zai Central Factory. Well, I know Zai Central Factory is liberal, and I've heard of Rainford, and it's always been associated with Erebonia. So all that leaves is the Vern Company. Oh, this one's easy. It's the Vern Company. Looks to me like you had Vern in your vernacular. Oh boy. The Calvardian Vern Company and the Erebonian Rainford Company are famed as the 2 largest manufacturers of orbital weaponry. However, it is a disservice to only attribute their contributions to weaponry. They're also responsible for the development of vehicles, appliances, and plenty of other nifty items. Phew, that's another one down. He started rambling for a bit, but I'm glad I got it right. Looks like we made it a little past the halfway point now. You are giving a valiant effort. Nice job, leader. If you keep this up, I'm sure you'll have no problems plowing through the rest of them. I'm thoroughly impressed, Lloyd. I wasn't expecting this from you. Come on, guys. Aren't you laying on the compliments a bit too thick? The questions were all fairly basic, weren't they? Well, regardless of how well you're doing, you've still got 5 questions left, buckaroo. I think you've had enough time to warm up, so it's time to up the ante. I hope you're ready. It's time for the 6th question. A catastrophic event known as the Great Collapse befell our continent a long time ago. This disaster resulted in the complete loss of civilization and fractured people into different factions that waged war on one another for many centuries to follow. This period, now known as the Dark Ages, was eventually ended by one such faction that rose triumphant. They organized themselves to bring about order and justice to Zemuria, allowing for a rebuilding of society to begin. You probably know who I'm talking about, right? Septian Church, the Bracer Guild, Fisherman's Guild. Bracer Guild is recent, Fisherman Guild is whatever, Septian Church. It was the Septian Church, wasn't it? Oh, thank Gaudios, you're correct. Around 500 of the Septian calendar, the Septian Church emerged to spread the teachings of the goddess of the sky, Aidios. Their intent was to provide aid to those in need. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Really had to go. The church's influence grew powerful enough to establish themselves across Zemuria, so the nobles who ruled during the Dark Ages could no longer ignore them. The efforts of Aidios and her teachings can still be felt firmly across the continent to this day, as they are deeply rooted in our society. Well, that went well. Anyway, on to lucky number 7. The headquarters of the Septian Church is located in a city-state known as the Holy City of Arteria. The Holy City of Arteria is made up of various administrative organizations that handle specific tasks, giving it a state-like structure. Among these organizations is one that handles the church's ceremonial rituals. Do you happen to know which organization I'm referring to? The Papal Guard, the Congregation for Divine Worship, the Congregation for the Sacraments, Divine Worship. Is it the Congregation for Divine Worship? Bingo! Good job! That was one tough cookie. Most priests found within chapels and cathedrals across the continent are employed by this organization. There's actually a cathedral located outside of the northern exit of the city that I offer the occasional prayer at. The archbishop in charge there is also from the Congregation for Divine Worship. That was really tough. Can you feel the burn? We're almost there. On to the 8th question. As we all know, the Bracer Guild has branches all across the continent. But what I really want to know is, just where in the heck are the main headquarters located? Crossbell State, Lehman State, Orid State. Lehman. It's in Lehman State, obviously. You're Le Man, 'cause you're right. Our headquarters can be found in Lehman State, alongside our biggest investors, the Epstein Foundation. In the event of a serious conflict, HQ can issue a direct order for all bracers to mobilize. I see. Time for the 9th question. You ever heard of that infamous thief that lives in Erebonia? He's a bit of a strange one. He steals precious works of art and then sends out calling cards with riddles on how to retrieve them. Also, his identity is hidden behind a mask. Apparently, people laud him as some kind of hero. Sounds more like a sadist to me, though. Anyway, I got a little off track there. Do you know what the name of this fella likes to go by? Phantom Thief A, B, and C. It's Phantom Thief B. I've already had enough trouble with him. God forbid he shows up in this game. I've actually heard of him before. Wasn't his name Phantom Thief B? Unbelievable! You got it right. Looks like you've done your foreign affairs homework. His infamy transcends the confines of Erebonia, as people across the continent have heard of his misdeeds. Yeah, Liberal did not escape that. Nothing is safe from his grasp either. He's stolen anything ranging from rare paintings in museums to a whole freaking tank. Rumor has it that he was recently running amok in Liberal. Who knows? Maybe we'll run into him sooner than you think. Yeah, I've definitely heard rumors. Like to avoid him if possible, though. Oh, that means we're getting a quest about him, isn't it? Doesn't it? It's time for the 10th and final question. Erebonia and Calvard have been at each other's throats over the rightful ownership of Crossbow State for a while. They've waged war against each other time and time again, causing grief and bloodshed for many innocent civilians. The situation became so severe that it was brought to the attention of Liberal's Queen Alicia. She proposed a treaty to end the conflict between the two nations. The treaty was signed in 1202 by 3 nations: Liberal, Erebonia, and Calvard. If you're truly cross-Bellin, then the answer to this question should be a no-brainer, right? The Non-Interference Pact, the Non-Aggression Pact, the Non-Hindrance Pact. It's the Non-Aggression Pact. That was the whole point of, Chapter 5 of SC? You're referring to the Non-Aggression Pact. And Non-Aggression Pact, and non-aggressive it was. That one should have been a gimme. The treaty was drafted with the intention of diffusing conflicts between any of the 3 nations via diplomacy, as opposed to war. Prior to the signing of the treaty, anxiety was at an all-time high in Crossbell State. I'll spare you most of the details, but both nations' armored divisions thought it appropriate to hold simultaneous military exercises at our borders. One single misstep could have had catastrophic consequences. I'm sure it would have triggered a full-scale war between the two of them. And so, Queen Alicia proposed this treaty as a means of preventing that from happening. Looks like we should be extremely grateful to Liberal for saving our hides. No way I was gonna get that one wrong. Aw, it's finally over. I was having so much fun. Good job getting through that. Oh, thank Idios, it's finally over. Why don't we take a look at your score then? Wowza, perfect score. Your knowledge is in line with our junior bracers at least. Looks like you've got some potential in you after all. Oh well, that's relieving to know. Thank you very much. Wow, didn't think he'd compliment me straight up. Dude, I was clenching my cheeks the whole way through. I'm glad I can finally take a breather.
I'm surprised Lloyd managed to answer questions outside of his area of expertise, too. I think I will ask him to assist me with filling in missing information for the database.
Oh, you guys are embarrassing me. Anyway, I've got a cute little treat for the doggy who managed to bark out all the correct answers. Action 1, I got a free quartz. Oh wow, are you sure we can have this? Yep, I didn't think you stood a snowball's chance in Gehenna of doing so well, so think of this as an apology for my ignorance. It's all yours now, sweetie. Take it. Well, if you say so, thanks a lot. This concludes our little game. Y'all better bust your backs making sure you don't drag us down, alright? Yes, sir. We'll do everything we can. That's the hidden quest done. And yes, I have a list of hidden quests, cause like in Sky and SC, I hate missing out on them. Now I can save in peace. That goes really fast. Okay, Lloyd, I'm going to pop down Geofront, heal up, and then report back to HQ.